I'm going to start by prepping my eyelids with a little bit of concealer. Normally, I have my foundation done before my eye looks, but because I'm going a little bit different route with this, I'm starting with just some plain concealer. I'm going to fill that in with a flat squared eyeshadow brush and then blend out a little bit more with a beauty blender just to make my base. And then I'm going to set it with a little bit of loose powder just so that it doesn't crease, because my eyelids do that. And then I'm going in with this NYX palette with a lot of colors and some water and a fine like detail brush that I reserved just for makeup purposes. And I'm going to wet the shadow and go in and scribble in a line. And so what I'm going for here is I jumped on board the trend of looking up what picture the Hubble telescope took on my birthday, and the results for me are a photo of Jupiter. And I've been considering trying a concept of applying more rough art styles to the eyelids as an eyeshadow look, and I felt like this picture of Jupiter was like a really great segue into that, because it's kind of all stripy but a little rough looking. And so I decided to try and do an eyeshadow look based on Jupiter. And so I'm kind of focusing on the northern hemisphere on my one eye here, just scratching in a whole bunch of colors based on what I'm seeing in the photo. Putting in little storms. I think that's what those are when you see the spots on the planet. Using the eyeliner here to get a little more definition, a little more depth in a couple areas. And just keep working with it until I'm satisfied with how that looks. While I'm scratching in more details there, go on further to say, I believe this week was National Women and Girls in Science Day. So I felt that honoring this photo with this eyeshadow look was also appropriate for this particular week in the year. So then going to my other eye, I'm using some NYX white eyeshadow base just to brighten my eyelid even more, because the southern hemisphere in the photo is very pale. And so I want to make sure I make this side, a little more bright to reflect that. And I'm just going in with like whites and browns and grays. I'll pop in a little bit of reddish orange a little later, you'll see. But again, just referencing the photo, I have that up on a computer screen behind the camera, and I'm just glancing at it and looking at what the stripes look like, what they're doing, and just trying to scribble that in onto my eyelid in a similar fashion to kind of get that same feel of those striations that are in Jupiter's atmosphere that we see in the photo. Here I'm adding a little more red striping, partially to kind of reflect the red in the photo, but also to try and make the look a little more flattering to my eye shape. And now I'm going in with the Mayron face paint palette. Here I'm using this for more deliberate details. The shadow gives a little softer look, whereas this will give me very defined spots and lines. And so I'm going in and adding in extra details to add interest to the look, and again to reflect what I'm seeing in the photo a little bit more to my satisfaction. I'm sharpening up those spots that are, again, I believe they're storms on the atmosphere of Jupiter, and just plopping those in as best I can based on the reference photo, and just kind of having fun with it. Here I'm putting in the big red spot on Jupiter that it's so famous for in the southern hemisphere. Again, just using that Mayron palette to paint that in. Taking this black eyeliner, it's just a pencil, and I'm tight lining to make the look more flattering for my eyes, but also add more definition and kind of to represent the darkness of space that you see around Jupiter. It kind of blends in into the edge of Jupiter with like this purplish bluish hue. So I'm going over that with shadow, tight lining with purple and blue shadow to kind of give that aura that you see in the photo. Gracefully spray on some setting spray, dry that off with a fan, and then I'm going to finish up the look with foundation, etc., do my hair so we can have a complete and finished look. Boom, there we go, finished look. Got the hair straightened out, or not straightened out, got the hair done, so this is a little more palatable. We've got the northern hemisphere, southern hemisphere, and so that's the entire look. I hope you enjoyed, I hope you learned something, and I hope to see you at the next video. Here's some finishing photos, but I hope you have a great day. Stay safe out there. Bye.